right, let's talk about this market sell-off. So we got Bitcoin doing here. Selling off it goes. BTC is on sale, Phil, I agree. It's on sale. Let's kill this audio. Now I'm gonna keep listening to it in the background because I gotta keep my pace up. All right. Well, every time I go live, I keep thinking I'm gonna have an agenda, something to talk about. Hold on, let me turn on my camera. I don't know if this is a good look or not for me having my camera on or not, but I'm gonna turn the camera on. I don't know if this is useful or not. All right, this is looking ugly. That's good though. This is good. Good. Doesn't seem good, but it is good. All right. So let's talk about this market sell-off we got in front of us here. First of all, let's start. Well, all right. I got to do my housekeeping. I have some new rules here when we start my live stream up. First of all, hi everybody. Should we be adding now? It's a great question. I will answer that in just a second. All right. Rules are, first, every time I go live, I'm going to remind everybody of this. The purpose of this live stream, this is a CTM, or Conquer the Markets, community stream. So this is not Brandon's stream. This is not necessarily, this is Crypto Trades and Tech is the name of it. But this is a crypto and altcoin focused channel. And what we do is we trade crypto like Jordan teaches in Conquering the Markets. And then Heath also teaches us a lot about hunting liquidity in his channel. And we're geared towards traders who are newer to crypto. Now, anybody who's involved in CTM is obviously welcome, ask questions and hang out. But the trading analysis isn't going to be as in-depth as Jordan or Heath. We're more focused on getting everybody up to speed on what's going on with crypto and the technologies. All right, that's that out of the way. Now, I also need to put a disclaimer out there. I am not a financial advisor. This is education only, or should be viewed as education only. And furthermore, if you listen to me, you will lose 1,000% of your money, certainly, because I'm an idiot, and you'll end up living in a van down by the river. I need to put up a van every time I talk about that. I need to have, hold on, I'm just going to do this. Van by the river. Listen to Brandon. This is where you'll end up. Okay? I'm going to have to make that my regular photo. That's awesome. This is where you're going to end up if you listen to me. All right, cool. Got that out of the way. Should you be buying now? Let me answer that question right off. Thank you for the great question. Who was that here? Hi, everybody. Let's say hi to everybody. Good evening. M. Rivera, Jay, Tom. Tom just added your position. I think you're smart. Jay says, should we be adding now? Well, let me measure that, and I'll let you know. If I was trying to add, I would be adding at 15%. Boom, I would have added some already. And 20%, I'd have another order sitting right here for 33.6. Be 20% off. All right, 33.6 or so, roughly. That's what I would do. Again, not financial advice. And then I'd have one final order down here right around 31. Now, interestingly enough, this 20% is awful close to that, so I might go down to 33 to be a little bit greedy on that one. Try to get some orders coming in closer to this 32 level. If you want my opinion is this sell-off is not going to be bought up like these other ones. I think we're going to end up sideways more here. Some of these other ones got bought up so fast. Maybe looking more like something like this. That's my opinion. Consolidation and something like that. I hope that. I hope we hit 32. I hope we hit this upper trend line. I hope we kind of hug that trend line. Something like that. This is what I hope happens. Because it's just going to give us a good reset. There's been so much run up here that people have been holding, they're not taking profit. So I kind of hope we just do this bit for a little bit. That's what I hope for. All right. But yeah, if you're trying to add, I said 15, 20, and 25% were my numbers because we don't know if we're going to get a 30% sell-off. Actually, yeah, we don't know that. Obviously, nothing is my SMAs are off. Let me just put the 120 SMA back on here 1 second, guys. The 5120, and that'll work. I lost my other ones. That's fine. Okay, we'll just use this for now. 5100. Alright, whatever. Alright. Daily. Our 50 is all the way down at 24. I don't think at this stage we may not get a sell-off, a massive sell-off till above 50, just because of the way the market's been acting. But I hope we come into this upper trend line at least. Maybe this one even. It'd be great. It'd be great. It'd make me feel better. All right. Ethereum. Good to be here, Chi. Thank you. Hello, buying the dips on BTC. Laugh at Odd. I like to fish. I like to fish. All right. Heath. Dude, stop selling your BTC. Evening, Brandon. What a start. Exactly. I had a somewhat of an agenda here. I was going to look at Forex. Again, every time I go to look at Forex first, the crypto market's going crazy. All right, let's take a quick peek at the main pairs that I watch. Let's just I'll give you my probably bad advice thoughts. My poor advice on these. All right. ETH BTC, giving you a nice setup, right? So you had an entry. I think I put on a trade coming off of this stuff right here, right back here, and I never moved my stop loss up because I had this feeling that we were in for something like this. So I'm gonna keep my stop loss down there, to give it some breathing room. Just let that trade do its thing, and I'll take another piece of a trade up here above this trend line. So I'm just gonna wait now. That was my aggressive entry on this breakout. ADA BTC. ADA keeps running into this resistance, man. It's acting pretty tough on it. When it breaks it, it should be a nice little run, but until then, you know, I think I took a trade coming off of this support too, retesting this area here, come back out, and that trade just still sitting there. It's a smaller trade with a huge stop loss. Link, I have a trade on, another small trade with a huge stop loss, and Dot, I have a pretty aggressive trade on, and I probably got stopped out. No, I didn't. Well, hold on. Yeah, I might have just got stopped out on that one. I'll go check it later. I had an aggressive entry right here. Super aggressive. I probably got stopped out. But we'll watch for a setup on Link. Or Dot. I'm not too phased about getting stopped out in this stage of it. I know alt season I'm, you know, trying to be somewhat aggressive to get a small entry in for the bigger run, but my bigger entries will be in above some of this resistance. Although this was looking pretty good. All right, so those are my thoughts. I actually like the sell-off. I think it's healthy. I hope we don't just bounce back and go to 50,000. I hope 42 becomes. We were saying that, right? Wow, isn't that crazy? A bunch of us were saying the sell-off. The sell-off felt like 40 to 42 would be a really good area because it would fool the market. Because the market kept watching, you know, what is well, that's exactly twice. That's, you know, 40,000 is twice. I think breaking above 40 fooled some people, but it's just momentum carrying it. All right, nonetheless, I like it. I'm actually happy about it. All right, let's go to, let me look at the comments, questions. I like to fish because you said we live by the river. Oh, in a van. I could use a van. Must be patient. If not, you will be patient. Be a patient. I like it, Phil. Must be patient or you'll be a patient. All right, let's look at Forex. I watched Heath's video earlier. I'd planned to pull something Heath was talking about up. We'll see if we get to that. So Heath was looking at some pairs. Interestingly enough, I haven't touched these in a while. His pairs are still the same pairs I'm looking at, which is good for me because I'm probably means I'm looking at the right things. All right, let's draw this trend line out here. So we've retaken this super steep downtrend on DXY that started with the sell-off after the liquidity crisis, and we're trying to retake that now. Although I did not trade Forex last week just because I just had this like gut feeling or intuition that we were going to come right back into this at some point. So plus I was busy with crypto. I didn't want to mess with it. But now is the time I think to pounce on a rejection of this and the dollar. Let's see what that looks like on these other pairs. Heath I think talked about it in his video. Was it NZ? One of these hasn't quite tested. Oh, it's AUDJPY. At his video earlier, he said he hadn't quite tested this one level he was watching. Tell me if I'm wrong, and it now has. This is the level I put this line on here. This is that liquidity zone Heath was talking about. Close below this 80, 20 something. And we're coming into a trend line on my chart though. So I've got a bit of a trend line here to work with too. So we'll see what that does. I'm watching Nzd Usd. This is the one I want to be in just because the New Zealand dollar and the Australian dollar have been so strong. I want to be back in trades on those, but I was kind of waiting for 2021 to get into trades on them. All right, sorry. All right. So, what I'm looking at on the Nzd USD, of course, I have a little bit of an uptrend here. Obviously, we broke out above this uptrend quite a bit. It's a little bit overheated. It's a good move, though. Let's see if it comes back into that trend line, or if I draw. Sorry. If I take one of these and clone it. Oh, come on, man. Go with the anchor and weird thing, please. Let's just clone that trend line right there and see what happens when I move it up. You see me working on these charts live. That's what I'm doing right now. Get out of my way. This is a little bitty screen I have to work on. I don't know if we get any touches here or something. Don't know if there's anything to anchor off back there, but there might be something like that. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see where we end up on this sell-off. We broke. Are we gonna close below? This is a pretty key level right here. See where those close that week down to. Let's go right here is like super, like the level we're on right now. It's an important level. See if we hold that, if we get a resumption off of that on this that would be a top side of this trend line. So, I mean, if you anchor it down here at these touches, and then there's a little bit of some market structure there on the trend line side, which again, trend lines aren't as important as horizontal, but there might be something there so that we would be right back into that trend line. I'd be more inclined to watch the horizontal on that. Let me go up to the comments here. All right, but I'm watching that one pretty closely. It's obviously the top of my list. I want to get back in an Nzd New Zealand pair. I think, look, that's getting to be a parabolic uptrend. I don't know if I can find a trend line here that works for me. Let's do 2 touches on the bottom there. Just go back to this touch here. Touch. Let me have a more parabolic version of it. So I think the big thing, though, on NZ JPY is that we're trying to break this downtrend. Right, it's a trend reversal. I kind of like those, although they're hard to exactly grab, but at this point it's kind of obvious that's going the other direction for a little bit. It's going to be. Alright, I haven't done much work on this one though recently. Don't like that upper, there you go, right there. What's the horizontals looking like? I'm going to grab another line. I'll be having so many stinking lines on my chart. Looks pretty good to me. I like that topping out right there. Let's get zoomed in here a bit. 8 hour. Let's put that right there where the market showed us a close and an open. So what I do is what you just saw me do is I just go draw some rough lines in based on, you know, where I see some touches, and then I have a recency bias, and basically doing that I'm moving things around to more or less Heath levels, but I see what I would call a Heath level right here. It's actually probably more anchored on that now, but you get the idea. Below that, see if we test this horizontal on this trend line and resume off of that. For now, we're coming down probably into 74.68, 69, I'd say. All right, what do we got in the comments here? You're an NZ? Awesome. Which pair? Oh, you're in New Zealand physically, Joel. That's awesome. I have not been to New Zealand. I've traveled a lot of places, never New Zealand. All right, Euro USD is the one I've been watching. Although with all the stuff going on with the virus in Europe, I'm less enthusiastic about the euro. But I'll just follow the charts. You know, whatever the charts say, what matters ultimately. My macro thesis really doesn't matter. The charts will tell you what's probably going to happen. Tonight's episode of Late Night Crypto and Rum is brought to you by eggnog and my Florida Cana that I put in my mix and stuff. So I just go eggnog and rum. All right. AUD, USD. So I've got these. I've got way too many trend lines. Probably I don't need this many trend lines. But let's just take a look. Let's extend my trend lines I do have and see what we get. So a little touch there, and then we're going to anchor this one at the top of that touch there. So we're between those trend lines. On the trend lines, we're also kind of, I would bet we come back into this level here and then resume off. So let's see, we zoom in a bit here. Well, you see it held the wick down to this level right here. That is 76,920. So we'll see what it does off of that. I don't know if Heath talked about this pair in his video. I'd like it to come back to test this. That'd be a nice spot. And the resumption off of that would make me feel a little better, because then I'd have my trend line to work with here too. So I probably wouldn't take a CTM entry off of resumption here, just because of how extended we kind of are. But it would be a valid entry. I would be hunting for better entries elsewhere. That's stuff I like better. I like it when it comes back into a more significant level. If I can find those are the trades I'll take over trades that are giving me a signal, but like what I would consider a weak signal. British pound, USD. Let's pull this line up onto those bodies there. All right, looking here. Obviously, we're kind of I love this. This would be GBP USD would be one I'd rather take a trade on. Although the Great Brit Pound has got to be coming under pressure soon, so it's kind of a scary thought. I would imagine it's going to come into pressure, but I mean the US dollar is going to come into pressure too. So maybe this pair is probably, from a macro thesis perspective, I can see this pair just going sideways. However, we have broken out of this very long. I have to go to 3 days in this little bit screen section of my screen to see. Hold on one second. Let me drag this off my screen. Let's see. I've got some Heath. BTC USD. I'm gonna pull up. I'm gonna go back to Bitcoin here in a second. So I'm just gonna finish these pairs up. GBP, yeah. I mean, from a macro thesis, I'd say it's probably gonna go sideways just because of the US and the UK are both under. Gonna have to print a lot, basically. Let's boil it down. But I like this. Love this breakout of this super long-term downtrend. So that's what we need to watch. So I mean, again, back to the charts are more important than whatever I happen to think about something. So if we come back into here and we get a good resumption off of this horizontal here that I have and this trend line, obviously we've broken down out of this. I don't know if this is kind of. I mean, that's not a valid bull flag. I don't think either. Yeah, I mean, we just broken down out of this structure. So hopefully we come back to test this and then resume up. I would like that better. All right, this is the one other one I like, Swiss franc yen. I'm liking the looks of this, the long yen, kind of a long-term, potentially trend reversal here. It's been pretty sideways, but you know it's gonna. Looks like it's wanting to maybe move up. We'll see. Keep an eye on that one. That might give us an interest signal. I'd say. Well, there's your entry right there if you do want to take it. All right, break, retest, top of this wick. Let it bounce around and consolidate a bit, but we'll see. Those are the ones I was watching. Let's take a look at in Kiwi. Nice. Hey, Brennan. Looking forward to a nice session. Hey, Nick. Thanks. You too. A lot of people lose a lot of money in Bitcoin. Some of them life savings. Man, you're right, TA. I don't know your real name, but This is a unfortunate part of the business, man. You know, traders who, oh my goodness. All right, I need to get back to Bitcoin. This is the story tonight. All right, traders who are just joining us are going to get so whipsawed around. I feel terrible for people, but you know what? I think all of us have been around trading a bit, or have done any form of trading. Move this just a little bit. Have done any form of trading? You know, we've all had to go through this. Just had our learning, and you know, you get beat up for a little bit, and you learn some discipline. But yeah, I mean, the poor people who bought, you know, euphorically up here, not waiting for a dip. This is a great buying opportunity right now. What are we at now in a sell-off? We are at 20%. Man, there you go. This level I have here, I was doing some fib work, fib retrace levels, and I came up with 32,686 roughly for, I forget if it was a 786 level or what it was. I'm not sure. But I had that as a pretty significant level, and we, you know, reacted on it pretty well. Came into it, found a support, broke below it, came into these trend lines, and then came back above it. Now it looks like it's, let's see if that holds. Let's see if that holds. Good evening. Good evening. Yeah, we'll see if that holds. For all of you just joining, I think the sell-off is great. I'm one of these weirdos that's like, yes, we have a nice sell-off. We need a couple of these events where the bears can yap for the next week and say, oh yeah, we're right. It's all gonna sell off and everybody's gonna lose all their money, and then just to see it reverse in their face. But that's just the way things go. This is also gonna give, so this sell-off, I've been waiting for that inversion event where money flows from Bitcoin into alts. One of these sell-offs that money's gonna flow into alts. Right now, what's going on, I think, in a macro perspective, is the DXY is getting bid. We have just like a risk off. I mean, it's obviously risk off right now, but you see the DXY is coming right into that resistance. So there's a bit of a risk off appetite, I guess. I mean, there's a lot of macro stuff going on. Let's take a look at the equities real fast. This is live, right? I'm getting a live feed on this. It looks like it's moving. My end of feed, not. Hold on. Let's go to the ES. Oh, it did move. Let's go to the ES minis. Yeah, okay. The SPX is holding up nicely. I mean, it's just a little bit off, but it's not bad. So SPX is getting the metals. I think were getting killed, weren't they? Yeah, the metals are getting killed here today. Let's take a look at the daily. What do we got here? The 8th, and then this morning. So they got killed coming into this on the 8th. That's right. So that's right. So we had, and that sold off that much. Man, I wasn't watching Friday. Wow. None of the metals sold off that much on Friday, but they're just continuing here. Let's see where they find support. Heath did talk about it in his videos. I didn't get a chance to really digest what he was saying, but basically, I believe he was saying there's no point in taking an entry right now. And yeah, I don't think we ever got a really good entry signal, did we, up here? Oh yeah, we did. We would have got some entry signals. You should have got stopped out. I did say myself, if we closed, look, here's, I'll point out when I'm wrong. I did say if we closed above the 120 day, these are starting to go sideways. They're wanting to kind of curl back up, but the 50, this is not my normal color, so it's messing my brain up. I'm going to switch it real fast. It's way too thick of lines, too. It's annoying me. You normally do blue, and then my 120 is orange, and that's purple. Make these less thick. Sorry, 1 second, guys. It's messing with my brain. All right. So I did say that if we closed a daily above the 120, that would be a really good entry, and it closed way up here, and then just tanked from there. So, you know, those false signals. We are maybe finding some support at the 200. Here's your 200. You know, when you're working with SMAs, these major moving averages are mostly moving up. The 50 obviously crossed the 120, which is not good. So that's kind of a potential signal there, right? 50 crossing the 120 on the downside. But let's see if we find support at the 200. The 200 is moving up still, so it could provide some support. It should. I mean, the macro thesis for gold is super strong. It's just obviously people are selling gold to go to Bitcoin. I think that's what's been going on, which is funny. So let's see what happens with this little bit of a Bitcoin sell-off. Let's see if it flows back into metals. Oh, where else is that money going to go? That money's going to go to Ethereum and other major projects probably before too long. I would have got stopped out on DOT. DOT has been killing me. I've taken 2 or 3 trades and I keep getting stopped out on DOT. You fooled me. You fooled me. It's alright. We'll get a good one. One of these entries will be a good one. It'll run. Let's take a look at. Smash the like button. Yes, please. Thank you. Appreciate that. 7 away from 1,000 subscribers. We can make it happen. Make sure you're subbed. I'm reading comments. So I'm going to say this will be bigger for the people that have joined me that were below 1,000 to hit 1,000 than for me. As long as I'm helping one person, I'm good. One person, 1,000, whatever. I'm just trying to provide my opinion. And again, this is a community thing, so feel free to give me feedback. Feel free to tell me what you want me to take a look at. And I'm also sharing, so this is not just my, coming out of my brain, right? So I'm digesting a lot of information, especially from our CTM chat group, and I'm sharing that information, that collective hive mind think tank in there, back to the community. Again, I'm more focused on the crypto and the alts, but that's the idea behind it. Let's see what we got. ETH getting hit. New traders stay on the sidelines at the moment with gold. Dave, oh, is that what? Yeah. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, you just that rejection. This is, with all the, things going on right now in the world on multiple levels, both political and I guess if a virus is a natural disaster, I don't know what that's called exactly, but there's just a lot going on, so it's a little bit of a flight to safety, risk off, it looks like to me. Let's go back to Forex and take a look at just think about that for a second here. AUD, JPY is like your risk on, risk off pair. I mean, it's really not that severe of a risk off move, it's just a little wobble, really. I think it's more pronounced in crypto right now, in the metals and crypto. Anybody have any thoughts on, will you talk about Cardano, the project, and where it's going? Yes, Lawrence, I can certainly talk about Cardano, the project, and where it's going. Anybody in chat have any thoughts on why, or is anybody aware of any news as to why the metals and crypto are both getting kind of sold off at the same time? Anything that would cause that combine? It's interesting. It's interesting to me that the metals and Bitcoin are selling off at the same time. Just not sure in crypto. All right, Cardano. Let's look at the chart on Cardano. All right, I've got some, probably too busy of the chart, but it's been forming this wedge down here, right? It's been just in this mega wedge versus Bitcoin. I contend that when it breaks out, I mean, it should break out here. It's fighting to break out right now, right? It's been fighting to break out. Now the project itself, Cardano's my favorite project, like as far as platforms. The reason is, so if I were to distill it all the way down, while I think they have some of the better technology, they don't have the absolute best, most cutting edge technology. But that's a good thing, because the players that have the most cutting edge technology, they're using unproven technology. And it's going to be a very, very long time until developers feel comfortable moving to their platform. Whereas Cardano went through this formal verification process. And so there's been a lot of formal verification that their technology is going to work. And for example, a good example of that is their Ouroboros consensus algorithm. So unlike a lot of these other consensus algorithms, they have a lot of really fancy chatter about them and how they work, but they haven't been provably secure. And security of your consensus algorithm is incredibly important. And this is why Bitcoin, it's got a very secure and robust consensus algorithm with the way the proof of work is and the monster network and the super high hashing rate that's been built up. And every time a block gets added, you're increasing the security of transactions in the past, because it takes an enormous amount of work to change anything in the past and then to recomputate those blocks. And so it's Bitcoin's obviously proven secure, right? And don't worry about quantum computers cracking it. They could, but it's very easy to implement some quantum resistant encryption algorithms. And every block. So if quantum computers were a thing and could start to break it, the first block that was mined with the quantum resistant cryptography, every block after that would make it that much stronger, resistant to quantum cryptography. So I wouldn't worry about any of that stuff you hear about. But with Cardano, one of the most important things to know is that the platform is going to scale. So right now Ethereum is going through this major upgrade. Ethereum 2.0 is a major upgrade for Ethereum, and they're trying to get the platform to scale. And Ethereum doesn't scale. We've got all these problems. In fact, one of the things I was going to talk about was two of the scaling solutions, Synthetics and Matic. Two things I was planning to talk about a little bit tonight. So I'll weave that in here, right here, this little talking point I'm going through. So Ethereum obviously doesn't scale today. The gas fees are enormous. It's causing a lot of problems right now. Take a look at Ethereum's chart as we do that. Ethereum sold off pretty big here. I'm just going to weave in some technical analysis while I talk about these topics. So Ethereum 2.0 won't be fully rolled out, or 26% off on Ethereum. Won't be fully rolled out until probably late 2022, early 2023, when it's kind of fully, when the mainnet today, well, the proof of work network today gets docked into the Ethereum 2.0 network. And that's when the Ethereum 2.0 will actually go live, and smart contracts can then be written on the proof of stake new Ethereum 2.0 network. So until then, all the smart contracts, everything that you're trying to execute on smart contracts wise, has to be executed on the existing proof of work chain today. So that's a couple years out. So first of all, Ethereum needs sidechain scaling solutions, or some type of scaling solution. So Matic is a sidechain scaling solution, something to watch. I saw it get a little bit of a bid here, a couple when Ethereum got bid. I think as Ethereum ramps more, these sidechain projects like Matic being the main one, they're probably going to start to really move. So that's something to keep an eye on. Now the next thing, Synthetics is another project, but obviously Synthetics is a derivatives based solution, and so it doesn't necessarily take direct load off of Ethereum's network like a sidechain like Matic would directly, but it will indirectly in that it's supplying derivatives that follow things on the Ethereum blockchain, more or less directly. So those are two to watch. Synthetics has already been getting some strength here. And it's tradable on Kraken, which is great for me. So that's the one I'm really watching. And I thought about entering some trades here. I can't do leverage trades on Synthetic. I don't know if it's just not available on Kraken. But it's one to watch, and Matic's the other one to watch. All right. So back to Cardano. So if Ethereum's having these scaling solutions, Cardano is going live with their smart contract capabilities in March. And there's actually a lot of buzz. There's a lot of stuff going on right now behind the scenes. That's why actually Cardano got a bit of a bid back here on the 6th and 7th. There was a few upgrades. Developers rolled out a few upgrades, and there was a few silent upgrades that happened in the background that started to enable a lot of the functionality in the back end. And there's some more new stuff that's been rolled out, actually, some exciting stuff on Cardano. But Cardano's network, it's a consensus algorithm is provably secure. So, and then the platform itself, it's a series. So instead of using something called sharding, which a lot of other projects, Polkadot is basically the whole premise of Polkadot is it's a sharded network with the master network controlling all these individual shards. And then you have Zilliqa, which is another sharded network. Sharding is really cool, fancy technology, and it works okay in centralized databases, but it's been proven to be problematic even in centralized databases. So when you take and you decentralize the chain and build it on a decentralized blockchain, sharding has not been proven. That's what Ethereum 2.0 is going with as well. Sharding has not been proven on a distributed ledger, distributed blockchain, or distributed database, in other words, like proof of work has. But side chains have been proven. So like one of the more well-known side chains is something called the Lightning Network for Bitcoin, right? And there's lots of other side chains. So Cardano is using a series of side chains to do their scaling. And the main network scales pretty well. The main Ouroboros network scales a lot. There's a lot more transactions per second, but there's all these side chains that they can roll in. And so with Ouroboros, the consensus algorithm being provably secure through this, formal verification rigor that they went through, and the sidechain scaling solution being formally verified, developers, as soon as Goguen goes live in March, developers, this is the platform developers are going to finally feel comfortable to move to off of Ethereum. And everybody's been stuck on Ethereum because nothing else has been proven. Like, for example, the EOS founder just announced it like today that he's leaving EOS. Well, so they're going to be under pressure. Yeah, so I mean, like these other competitors, EOS is dead. EOS is no longer a competitor. If their founder is leaving, there's a problem there. So your main competitors to Ethereum are Cardano, maybe Polkadot. Polkadot's got a little bit different angle, but they can also replace Ethereum largely. And then you've got Zilliqa, you've got Elrond, you've got now there's a lot. Algorand. I'm looking through my list here. People will say XRP. That's obviously not a thing anymore. But XRP it never was angling for that anyway. But anyway, you get the idea. So the main competitors to Ethereum, if Ethereum has scaling problems, are Cardano, and then everybody else is kind of like a secondary. So Polkadot's the other one. Polkadot again is very focused on like smaller, newer projects coming online and allowing new developers to snap into their ecosystem. So there's going to be a lot of projects built on the DOT ecosystem. So it's an exciting thing to have, and this is why I've added it to my recommendations list. So they're all different things. So Ethereum has the network effect and is the predominant leader today. ADA is the provably superior technical one. And now there are other more exotic technologies out there, but Cardano has the proven, through a lot of rigor of formal verification rigor, and this is going to be the network that Ethereum developers are going to feel comfortable moving to large projects. Chainlink is the one that basically connects the outside world into cryptocurrencies, which is a humongous use case. Chainlink has probably the most upside of the projects I talk about a lot. Out of these four, if Chainlink were to outperform them significantly, I wouldn't be surprised. Now, Cardano, I think, is going to outperform, just because the total addressable, like the market, the upside of, in the end, Ethereum could be bigger than Bitcoin. Its market cap, right? You can make a case that Ethereum someday could be bigger than Bitcoin, because Ethereum is a platform that enables so many real world transactions to happen. Now Bitcoin is an ancillary and it's gold 2.0, and it just kind of is another version of gold, like that's just a investment. Then Ethereum could easily pass it. Now if the Lightning Network really takes off and Bitcoin becomes the global reserve currency is actually used for transactions, then no way on earth is Ethereum going to ever compete with that. But you can think of Ethereum as a basically like almost like an equity, because there's so much value locked in. If you go to DeFi Pulse, you can see how much value is locked in DeFi. So right now, $21 billion worth of value is locked in DeFi, and almost all that's on the Ethereum network. You look at all these, like all the networks is built on, the chain is built on, is almost all Ethereum, right? So you've got your lending platforms, you've got your decentralized exchanges, derivatives platforms, so synthetics I talked about earlier. Payments networks like the Matic network, the Lightning network, but like the only one that's not on all these lists that's not built on Ethereum is the Lightning network for Bitcoin. Look how much stuff is on Ethereum. So when you take that, it's almost like a book value when you value equities, and then you take the real world applications that are built on it that are producing cash flow. Ethereum is the token that you are going to need to have to enable these assets that there's value locked in that gives it almost like an underlying base. Like Ethereum should never go to zero because the value locked in it is higher than zero. So it's almost like a underlying book value for an equity, and then it's producing on top of that. And so it depends on if it stays the dominant player in the crypto in the platform space in cryptocurrency. I could see it actually surpassing Bitcoin's market cap in 8-10 years. All right, let me read some comments and questions. I just went on a big, huge tangent. Maybe I'll turn that into a video for tomorrow. We talked about Cardano. That was so that was what I wanted to talk about, though, was side chains. The things I'm watching, Synthetics and Matic. I think those type, and there's lots of other side chain or other scaling solutions for Ethereum. Those just happen to be the big names that are a good proxy for those spaces. So Synthetics, again, being the derivatives market, and then Matic being the side chain scaling solution market. So those are the two big names to watch to see if we do get Let's take balance off of here. If we do get some activity there. All right. I wove that in by talking about Cardano. Hope that was good. Okay. Looks like Theta is holding up pretty well, only down 5.5%. Take a look at Theta. Yeah, I mean, it's a neat project. We'll see where that goes. Now you think about, like, what's the total market upside of Theta? Think about this. Okay, so how big is YouTube today? Like, you know, what is it? What's the value of YouTube? It's obviously a part of Google, but what's the value of YouTube alone? Now, when I evaluate these projects about how much upside they have, and now hype is, like, right now what we care about more than anything is hype, but ultimately speaking, like a V-chain, I'm watching right below it, has a lot more upside than Theta, I think. I mean, YouTube's pretty big, so maybe I'm wrong, because this is, the V-chain is its own, you know, blockchain, but it's focused on supply chain logistics. So maybe, you know what, I take that back. You think about it. What's the market cap of all the supply chain logistics, the incumbent, you know, players in that space versus the upside for like a YouTube? So maybe Theta has some serious upside. Maybe I'm wrong about that. All right, Elrond. Let's go back to comments. We're talking about what I want to talk about. What you guys want to talk about. Yes, in regards to metals, their inverse TLT suggests a move is from bond yields and okay, bond. That makes sense. Thank you, Joel. Appreciate that. They'll go back down. The move rooted in inflation expectations. Okay, thank you. So we got a rotation into bonds. Crypto's being crypto, not selling off alongside. I got a Martin. Stuff is dropping now. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, Bitcoin's bouncing right back. Look at that. I mean, this could be a dead cat bounce. Let's see if we can get a good solid test of this 32,686. I'd feel pretty good about that. I'd like that. Let's take a look at our. So I got probably wicked out. Yeah, I would have got wicked out. So I got stopped out on DOT. Another loss. That's my either second or third losing trade on DOT. You're killing me, DOT. The others look good for me. Yeah, I've got my stop losses are way below all these levels. Okay. Back to the comments. However, the underlying theme, increasing bond yield, interest rate. Okay. Watching 34,787. Heath says we're watching 34,787. Let's just put it on. Oh, he's got this right here. Wait, no? Not across these? What is that level? 34,631. He's got 747. Why does he have 747? Oh, to the top wick right here. It's right there. 787. I'm way off. Okay, so those top wicks and this bodies. I got it. Yep, I see it now. Right there. He's looking at right here, roughly. I mean, I can't quite get it quite right. I believe, right? 34.7. I can't get it quite on there. Stupid chart. But, okay. That's what he's got. Good. Alright, so if he's got that level, that's the level to watch, guys. Alright. Coinbase data feed. Well, yeah, so my data feed might be a little off. I'm using Gemini. Alright. Cryptos and metals swooping in for a save, maybe. Worried about a 15% drop. Should I sell my... Yeah. Exactly, Oklahoma City, OCB. But yeah, people freaking out about 15% drop in crypto just shouldn't be messing with crypto. Should I sell my Riot blockchain shares? Carlos, tomorrow's going to be a rough day for you, man. I did that video probably a little bit too late. I'm sorry. I did my video. I actually talked about it on a live stream late Friday. But I've been saying, and I've been putting in our CTM Telegram group, I put all my research there, and I just now got active on YouTube and Twitter so that I can get to a wider audience. But I was evangelizing the you know, case against the miners, although they obviously outperformed what I thought they would at this stage. So I may be wrong. Maybe there's more institutional interest in those names. But tomorrow's going to be a rough day for you. But I would probably, if it was me personally, I would sell out the miners pre-market tomorrow first thing, because with this little sell-off, it's gonna create that avalanche of selling, and with the low liquidity, there's gonna be a lot of shorts coming into play those names, and it's probably gonna be a nasty sell-off. And I've found, if you watch my video, the last video I actually just did before coming live here, talked about Mara and Riot and how they underperform Bitcoin, and how what happens is they'll sell off hard with a small correction, and then they'll consolidate while Bitcoin makes a recovery. And so, you know, they could be much lower when Bitcoin is 50,000. It's like whatever they closed at Friday, I almost guarantee you when Bitcoin hits 50,000, Mara and Riot will be lower than they were on Friday, at when Bitcoin was at 40. It's just the way it works, those things. So I would. That's my opinion. Say hi to my friend Chino. He's watching from jail, but he can't chat. He loves the show. Awesome. Thanks, Danny. Hi, Chino. Nixon Rodriguez, be careful with Riot. Okay, yeah, there you go. He's giving you some good. Thank you, Heath, for being here to drop some knowledge. May I know about ZOM? If I knew anything about ZOM, I'd share it with you, but I don't. ZOM does not ring a bell. What is ZOM? Is it a coin? Too many coins out there, man. My problem too is I spend so much time and energy researching like the major projects. I don't ever get down to these small things. Let's take a look at what ZOM is. Got a question about this? I have no clue. Next generation approach to wellness. Wellness for everyone. Highest quality products using the finest technology. ZOM is a... Alright, so some kind of wellness play. I don't know anything about it. So I can't comment right now, I just don't know anything about it. Maybe I'll add it to my research list here. I'll keep it up on my screen here, and I'll add it to my research list after, because I don't know anything about it. Bull run is over. 35K now. Bull run is over. This is the most massive dump in history. Power Slam, are you talking about Bitcoin? Because if you're talking about Bitcoin, this is not the biggest sell-off. This is not the biggest sell-off. Not even close. Let's take a look at the measure one more time here. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we just sold off way more than I thought. That is a 20% sell-off. Let me show you something. If you think that's a big deal. This is my BLX, my logarithmic chart. I'm not saying that right. My log scale chart for, let's just make all this a lot smaller. For Bitcoin, I'm going to show you a sell-off. Let's look at some sell-offs. I think you might have been being sarcastic too, so I apologize if you were being sarcastic. I'm just being rude. Not trying to be rude. But let's take a look at something. This is the last halving cycle. These purple vertical dotted lines are the halving events. This is a miner's halving. So we don't know exactly when it happens. It's algorithmic, and so it's slightly different, but it's a number of blocks, not like a specific date set. Just FYI, in case anybody's wondering. So it depends on how long it takes for the next 4,000, whatever it is, 40,000. I forget the number of blocks. It's some number of blocks, 140,000 blocks or something like that. And the blocks, they don't get mined exactly every 10 minutes. It's a rough approximation, and the algorithm changes the complexity every 2 weeks. So anyway, it's pretty close. So this is when it happened, the 10th of July 2016. And from that point on, Bitcoin went on a monster bull run, but not after first initially having a sell-off. This almost always happens right after the halving event for some reason. There's a little bit of a sell-off, and then it starts this big bull run. All right. So what we're looking at right now is a roughly 20% sell-off. Take a look at this one. So from peak to trough, that was 35%. And then this one here was a 40% sell-off. So let me ask you this. If you were in this last bull run, another 40% sell-off. 40%. So 35. If you're in this last run and you saw what we're seeing right now, and you got shaken out right here, how would you have felt watching that for the next few months? Or right now we're well above. This is the prior all-time high on this, like the prior all-time high of the prior bull market cycle. So maybe the analog is probably better to be. We're being up here. So you're in good profits, right now. Everybody's in good profit. It's probably about double. What is it, double 2,000? Yeah, it's a pretty good analog in this little section right here. Look at that. But what we're having right now is not even half this sell-off. So what we're at right now today is maybe this piece. And it may continue another 20% down. What? Stop. Bad computer. Alright, so this is probably about, what, 20%? Yeah, so initial, yeah, so there you go. That's a 30%. Look how fast that 30% happened. Boom. So you're sitting here at your computer watching this. Now, this is a log chart, remember, so it looks, let me take it off of a log chart. Alright, that's what the sell-off looked like. So if you had just bought, you'd be freaking out as you watch this. You bought it 2,900 and it got all the way down to 1,800. That's like going from 29,000 to 18,000, right? That's like going from, what are we at, 30-something thousand? 40,000 down to, 24,000 or something. I mean, let's go measure this. What's a 40% sell-off? Which is, 40% is about the worst case scenario for the most part. So I don't think the sell-off is that bad at all. I mean, this is what I'm getting at. The 50-day moving average is up here at 24K. That I think is probably our worst case scenario for an initial sell-off. The 120 or 200 are kind of out of range for a little bit. These are going to have to be pulled up significantly before they come back into accumulation zone. Even thinking about using those as an accumulation zone. So we're at a 20%. A 40%, look at that. Look at that symmetry. A 40% sell-off puts us right into this main trend line we've been watching and right into the 50-day moving average. Now, I'm going to show you where I get this main trend line from that I just deleted. I'll show you this. I've got this all over my charts. Here's your altcoin phases. All right, let's take a look at my trend lines here. All right, so the prime trend line I copied shamelessly from Jordan Lindsay, Conquer Trading Investing. This is it right down here, right? And this liquidity crisis caused us to sell and break down below that trend line when the thought is it probably wouldn't have sold off. But anyway, I cloned these trend lines. And what I did is I went back and I found for myself, now I think Jordan and some others have those slightly different trend lines, but I'm also using the Gemini feed, which might be causing mine to be slightly different. But I've got several significant touches here. On the way up, this one wick down, and these two down here. And then I have another trend line here on the start of the bear phase, our big sell-off. We wicked down to this one. And we wicked down again to this right here, this area. We wicked down to it. We found support several times before we broke through, and then we tested it once as resistance. So the one below it's actually slightly more, I think, probably important as far as trend lines go. Did I hide all the? Oh, it's just so parabolic, and it didn't look like it was even there. So this is the level that Heath's saying that we should all be watching. If he said we should be watching it, that's the level we should be watching. I'll make it big. But yeah, I mean, a sell-off back into that trend line would not be the end of the world. It'd be a nice shakeout for a lot of people, though. All right, so. And Power, you may have been joking too, I don't know. But it's not the most massive sell-off I mean, this is totally under control. Nice sell-off. Let's go look at Bitcoin dominance real fast. So I was calling a possible head and shoulders here, and I don't know where the neckline is. I mean, actually, it's probably way off because it's kind of what I don't like about this is this little bit of, whatever happened there. But nonetheless, if it were to end up being a head and shoulders, we probably came into the neckline and bounced off of it. And let's see if it breaks back down here after testing this resistance. So anyway, I kind of saw it as a potential head and shoulders, but we'll see what happens. We got support on it. We haven't broken the neckline, so that's what matters. That's what matters. See you in the morning, Brandon. Taking off. Have a good night. Happy trading. Yep. Thanks, Heath. Probably missed you, but see ya. Friday, 42K. Monday, 33K. I mean, it could be. Slam, yeah. But, I mean, is that really that big? Think about what you're saying, though. At the 33,000, I didn't think, 33,000 at the beginning of January. I would have been back here in mid-December. I'd have been super elated to be above 28 or something. That'd be awesome. I was thinking, we'd be messing around with the prior all-time high and through most of January and then break it kind of late January. So my expectation right now is that we should be down here, but we're way up here. So if we sell off, 32,000, well, that's a nice. All right, how about more at 34K? Oh, buy VET, yeah. That's a good one. Let's take a look at the versus Bitcoin and see what VET's doing. A little bit of a dip. You see this trend line I got here? These long-term trend lines on VeChain. All right, you see, we're hitting that trend line. Let's see what I got here. Let's flip this. I got way too many lines on this chart. This purple line is the real important one to get back above, but make this less bright. It doesn't need to be that bright. And then I'll turn this red. And then I'm gonna get rid of this one because it doesn't matter anymore. All right, well, yeah, we're sitting on that trend line now. So we broke down before, and I put another trend line down there. And it's because it started to get some touches on that market structure. But we're just back in that trend line on the BTC chart. VET will probably be a pretty good trade when we get out of this. This is so kind of, anybody see any patterns here? I'm just trying to detect a pattern. Some type. I don't know. Get above this 96 level, 96 Satoshi level, and the VET's going to be real strong versus Bitcoin. But right now it's, you know, kind of in that perilous, very sideways action right now. But VET will probably make a good run, I bet. Yeah, good time to buy Bitcoin. Christian, I agree. I think if you were trying to get in, we'd all said before. I just said this in my last live stream, whenever it was. I forget when I did that. Was it Friday? I just literally said, if you were trying to get, I made that video. I made it into a short video, right, on the lengthening Bitcoin cycles. If you sold out because your lengthening Bitcoin cycle, or you were, you know, thinking that the lengthening Bitcoin cycle might be a thing, and you sold out way back here somewhere, and now you're looking to try to get back in, you know, this is the 15, 20, 25% of the levels I had pegged. So tonight, if you would have, if I would have been me, right, and I found myself in that situation, what I would have done immediately is placed orders at 15, 20, and 25% based on that high right there. And I'd manage them every time it makes a new all-time high. So I'd have got my 15% order, which would have probably been 20%, you know, yeah, about 20%. And then I would have done 25% at 20% off. So I'd be 50% back into what I wanted to be in Bitcoin. And then I'd have my one last 50% order at 25% off. 25% down, I'd be 100% back in. So I'd scale in, right? So something like 20, then 30, then 50 is how I'd have done it. And I'd have been 50% back in, and I'd be feeling pretty good if I was trying to get back in. Preach it, brother. If I sell, I can't buy Bitcoin again. I'm lost. Sorry, I'm a noob at this. Carlos, if you sell, of course you can buy again. Unless, I don't know, unless you, yeah. Your risk is then left behind. It bounces back quickly and sharply. Pullbacks are healthy. Don't panic. Sell. What about Ethereum? What type of Ethereum? Ethereum. What I said this just a couple weeks ago. We were down here consolidating, and I said, as soon as we break this area, you can go back and check the videos. As soon as we break, it's gonna be a quick trip to the all-time high. It's gonna be a very quick trip because there's like no resistance. Now I said we were gonna pause at 8:15. I was wrong. We paused at like, what is it, 750? 750 gave us a pause and we blasted out. And now we're just having some volatility. And so, good thing is all this volatility, you know, volatility happens both ways. So when you get these big sell-offs, a lot of times it can snap back harder. And that's what happens in crypto. Happens a lot in crypto. It's I don't know if it's manipulation. I'm not going to try to go there. I just know, and especially in Ethereum. I've been trading Ethereum since the very beginning. Since I started mining Ethereum months after it came out. Because I had GPUs that I couldn't mine Bitcoin with anymore. And once I realized that there was something else I could be mining, I started mining it. But so I've been trading Ethereum this whole time. And I can tell you one thing I've seen over and over and over again is it has these monster sell-offs, then it goes on these 3 times, rip your face off, run the other direction. And let's look at the chart. I'll show you. It happens so many times, it's ridiculous. It's just the way Ethereum works. Look at this. I was there. I was sitting. I watched this happen. Where is this at? 26. Right here. I watched this happen. I probably sold what I had a little bit out of mine way back here. And then I was watching this going, I wish I'd bought. But I remember sitting there kind of like passively watching this big giant sell-off, and then it just ripped. Now, does this look familiar? Let me ask y'all a question. Does this look familiar? Consolidation, big rip, big sell-off. Oh, look at this. Well, see, now some of these are, this was, obviously it came back down to the downside. But look at this. This big rip, this big sell-off here. Then it bounced back and consolidated and it took off. So fair enough. That wasn't like an immediate in-your-face turnaround. I'll find some more here. This is in the bear market. All right. Let's go back to the bull markets are when this happens. It just happened at like, yeah. So, you know, like I said, I don't know if it's manipulation. Right here, so we're consolidating below this. We sell pretty hard, and then we make a move up and break out. This big monster wick down right here, and then we went up, reversed here. This happens here, and then here, right? And this just happened, right? Remember this? If you were sitting here, if you were trading, let me go back to a lower time frame. I'll show you. Put yourself back where, like, if you were actively watching, right? Now watch this. That looks pretty rough, doesn't it? This just happened. I mean, this is literally just happened. So we came in, and this is the area I was saying. As soon as we break this area, we're going back to the all-time high in a hurry. Right here. This was just December. This was mid-December. And, yeah, it's late December. It's just happened. So you're sitting here watching this. Look at that sell-off. What is that total? Over the course of a few days. Right, so from 17th of December to, you know, 20%. That's not as big as I thought. 20% sell-off. But then, boom. And then this wick down, and then boom. It happens over. Wick down, and then boom. It happens over and over and over and over and over again on Ethereum. So, I don't know. Maybe we'll keep going down, but I've just seen it wick down like that so much and then turn around. It happens over and over again. All right. Did you ever get cover? Oh, did I ever get to cover GRT? So GRT is a graph. It's a really cool project. The reason I don't talk about it more is I can't trade it on Kraken, but I believe, right? No, it is on Kraken. That's right. The chart just looks horrible. And I always, every time I talk about the graph, I can't think of the word that what they use. So I'm just gonna pull up their website. Indexing, thank you. God, the word indexing is what I can't think of every time. Indexing protocols for querying Ethereum. So basically, it allows information to be able to be accessed verifiably using Web3. So Web3 is a decentralized web. So it's building on the same principles as Web3, decentralized web, and so it's decentralized. It makes data accessible. But I believe Graph is technically centralized right now. So that's the one thing so there's one thing to keep in mind with the Graph is this is a private company, and this was a private, I don't know about private company, but it was a centralized solution, right? So it's just a solution running on some servers. You could hit these servers APIs, but the big news is that they made it decentralized, and so. That's the main, here we go, that's what I was looking for. That's the main thing. So it's a neat project, cool to watch. And it has a lot of potential, that's for sure. But the only problem I have in watching the graph, I was looking for something specific, I'm sorry guys. I'm kind of trying to talk and find something on their page here real fast. It's hard to do, so I need to pause and find what I'm looking for. Storage APIs. Indexing query. Graph tokens, indexer staking. Here we go. All right. So the purpose is for indexer staking. Indexers deposit graph tokens to be discoverable by the query market and provide economic security for the work they're performing. And then curator signaling. Here's the market potential. Curators deposit graph tokens in a curation market where they are rewarded for correctly predicting which subgraphs will be valuable to the network. So the other problem with the project is when you understand it's a curation project, the market potential, what I don't understand is basically how the graph tokens become valuable, if that makes sense. Because of the way this curation process works. And that's my concern with it, is I just don't know like what value the graph token itself is going to have. As like the graph project is really cool, technology is really cool, but the token, I just don't understand the tokenomics, if you will, of how that's going to be a valuable token. So because I haven't got my head wrapped around that, and because the chart doesn't look great right now, I mean, it might be bottoming, right? So this could be like just sitting on some support. This is a Kraken feed, so I'm sure I can find a longer feed on Binance or something. But that's my biggest problem with it. All right, we're going kind of long here, I just realized. So when the chart looks better, maybe I'll do some more reading up. If anybody out there knows a lot about the graph and wants to fill me in on the tokenomics of it, I'd appreciate it. Oh man, we got a lot of comments. Let me get through these comments and then I'm gonna wrap up. Brandon Jurits, yeah, I almost panic sold Ethereum. Yeah, do not panic sell right now. Everything's cool. This is a big shakeouts. It's happening all the time. Like this is totally crypto land. HODL, man. Look, here's a good indicator for you when we're breaking down. See these long-term moving averages? You close below these and you start to get resumption signals down off of these. Then you're looking at a bear market, and it's really simple. And there's a lot of other ways to let's go to the daily. I'm sorry. A lot of other ways to look at it, but fundamentally, when you break down like the 200, come back to test it, and then resume down off of it, that's the bear market. That's a simple indicator. And then when you test the 200 as support and move up, that's a bull market indicator. All right, it's that simple. And we're way above it. So just expect volatility. We're so far detached from these. We've made such a strong move. This is a really good shakeout / consolidation happening. All right, moving on. ETH bull soon. Yeah, I mean, we're messing with this 1226 resistance that I had on my chart. I mean, we just came into that. We got rejected. We're hitting the trend line. It's all good. It's gonna get volatile here, and it's gonna smack 14,000 and then ping pong around between 14 and 12 probably. All right, this is what's gonna happen, right? So you're gonna and then off it goes. Maybe not even that long. It'll be like a lot faster than that, right? So we just had this big sell-off. You're probably gonna still come down a little bit more and freak people out. And then off it goes. All right, moving on. 7 more subscribers. Let's go. What do you think about the bottom price in the next few weeks for Ethereum? 980 looks good. 900, 815. Let me look at something here. Hold on. Where's my 50 day at? 50 days way down here. Nope, that's not going to do us any good. It's not coming down to 50 day. Right here. I had it at 815. So what I do when I'm mapping resistance is I actually pull it a little bit lower than I think, just so that I'm on the side of caution. Or it should be the other way around, right? So right there, whatever that is, 826, something like that. It's the lowest probably it'll go. But yeah, 980 looks good to hold. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, maybe wick down below it real fast. I don't see us getting to 826. 980 looks like a pretty good level to hold, but we'll see. 826 is in the cards, I would say. All right, I just wish I had more cash. You know, Vern, I think, like, who doesn't? I'll take more worthless fiat money. People still accept fiat money. I can still buy some nice stuff with fiat. Best moments to buy ETH. Right now would be one of the best moments to buy ETH. 26% sell-off. It's a good, well, right now you're not 26% off. 980, I mean, if I was looking to add to ETH, I'd put a limit order at 980. That's 27% down. It's horizontal support. I'd actually put it at 981 just to make sure that if we never get down to it. Although, like, when you study liquidity, you're probably, if you hit down 980, it's probably spiking down below it. So, you know, you could do even an order at 9, like, well, I don't know where the stops would take it to. Moving on. 980 is a good level. ETH. Vern. Bull flag and ETH versus BTC chart. Buy 033. Is that a bull flag? What time frame are we looking at? I don't see a bull flag. It's too... I mean, yeah, you can draw one, but I don't think it is. Yeah, this is the time frame you're looking at, something like that. Could be. My chart's getting a little too busy for me. I don't like it because of we nullified it coming back down here. I think when the bodies closed outside of it, I quit watching for bull flags when I get it closed. Now if it's a wick, sure, but the fact that I had a close and an open below what I would classify as the market structure there kind of invalidates that bull flag to me. But I'm not, I'm not Heath. Ethereum 1500 this week, easy. If we pass 038. 38 on ETH BTC. Oh my goodness, yeah, that's pretty much the level I've been watching. So that's what I've been saying for a while. This is the level I'm looking to take profit. So I've been pretty aggressive about trying to get some trades in here because it's going to take off fast. And it's probably going to be when Ethereum breaks its prior all-time high, goes into price discovery, and does some ridiculous run up to like 3,000 or something, is where we're going to see this big move in Ethereum versus Bitcoin. And yeah, you get above 038. That's pretty much exactly the level I've been saying. That 37 is what I have it at. But yeah, that level right there is, you get above that. Of course, I have it lower, like right, so I can draw it up to 38. No, wait, not that level. Sorry, wrong one. If I get rid of something, I could probably get rid of that resistance. It's really not that. What it is, this last touch up right here is where I have it drawn. See that? So I have a recency bias when I'm doing my levels. So that's why I put it there, 37 instead of 38. All right. Thanks, Vern. Appreciate it. I think all will collapse a little bit, break down. Euphoria. Started trading a nice 5-to-1 with trading, made good money. Reality has faced me. Yeah, so I'm trading my, so I have a small amount of my Bitcoin in Kraken. Or, I mean, it's not insignificant, but a smaller portion. And I'm trading leveraged on these names first with that. So yeah, I'm in a 5-to-1 ETH trade. What would Dot look like? Dot right bounce right back. Man, Dot wicking out on me. I knew I should have made I'm pretty sure my stop was like right at 22 or something. Phooey. Oh well. What did you get for making too tight of a stop loss? Yeah, GRT Theta. Yeah, those are promising. Thanks, Frisbee Dogs. Master of Crypto. Can you take a look at Link ETH? Yes. And then I'm going to Link ETH. Link ETH. Yeah. And then I'll wrap up. It looks down. So this is moving in this direction. This is what I see clearly on this chart. So don't buy Link. Buy ETH. No, I mean, we're obviously joking around. I don't have anything to say about this. This is a daily chart. Let's look at it. I mean, it's just... Yeah, I mean, if I had been paying more attention to the Link ETH chart, this tells you shouldn't buy Link. I'm getting tired. That's horrible. Let's look at another longer chart. Let me get some more context. That was the Binance chart I pulled up. Coinbase might be slightly longer. Yeah. So Coinbase, just so y'all know, has the history of GDAX since they bought GDAX. So Coinbase is typically the longest charts on most things. So there you go. It looks totally different now. It still looks bad, but now you're coming into this support right here, which is a super important level. So from this perspective, Link is clearly a buy because you're sitting right on support and your downside is like super crazy low. That's actually, so this is a really good, like, if you want to be super aggressive about trading, anytime you come in like a really important level like this, you can be pretty confident in placing a like 5-to-1 trade with a super tight stop loss. Where would you enter on this? I knew. Right here. That's what I would do. This is not CTM. This is like more Heath style. That market structure right there, close above that is when I would take an entry. A super aggressive entry. Now I'm already positioned in ETH, so I don't really care. But if Link, but if you're looking to trade Link versus ETH, or you're just looking at when to buy Maybe when to if you're holding BTC and ETH and you're looking at what other opportunities are out there, this is a nice. To me, this presents a non-CTM bottom fishing setup, right? So close above that white line, and you could probably place an order there. Better would be obviously our typical breakout, retest, resumption would be even better. But a close above it would signal that you're probably going in the other direction. I would wait for that close. Now I marked it out on the 12-hour. I would wait for that close. No, that's a daily. So that's the downtrend. We closed there, opened there, got a little bit of a bounce, and then went right through it. But wicked up to it. So check out Sync Network crypto bonds. I will, Angry TikTok Toad. I will do that. We're gonna wrap up here now. It's going night to a great morning. Yep. I'm gonna throw back up my outro music. Oh, come on. And I'm going to get through a couple more questions here real fast, but I'm going to throw this up. And while we listen to the outro music, I'm going to wrap up these last couple of questions I saw. Come on, Doge. All right. Hit the bottom yet? I got 90% filled. Hey Thomas, no, I don't know that we hit the bottom. I don't think we did. This is the level he told us to watch if you weren't on earlier. 34,796 roughly is what I had, 34,780-ish. Close, if we close below that, let's see where we're gonna end up here. When our candle open? We still have a couple hours on this candle. Close below that on like a 4-hour, and it's going down to 32,686. Close below that, it's going down to 31, whatever this trend line is. But we'll see if that holds. One of these three is probably going to hold. I just don't know which one it is. The thing is, like, see this level right here? This is, you want to close above this really, because that's a lower low, a higher low, right? That's all that matters, right? If you look at the market structure, what's been going on here, right? So we had this low, this low, this low, this low, this low. We had this high, this high, this high. So you're making higher highs and higher lows. You keep doing that, and that's bullish. You're going up, and up, and up, and up, and up, and up, and up. So as long as you really, and this level, yeah, I mean that trend line, you know, given the structure of how fast everything moved up, I think even coming back down, wicking down to this, you know, level. But you kind of do want to stay above this 27,655. If you were to get below that, it might signal a more prolonged consolidation at like a lower level. But that's a long way down. That's a long. Let's see how far that is. I'll measure this for you real fast. That is 30. It's totally doable. 35%. It'd be a quick. But I mean, the institutional froth right now in Bitcoin, that'd be a quick dip down. So if we do dip down below it, we have to just really closely watch the price action after dipping below that, because that would be a lower low. And so that would probably signal at least obviously some consolidation for sure. All right, back to questions. Sync Network, they're making crypto bonds that can be sold in OpenSea without affecting Uniswap liquidity. Thanks, Anchor TikTok. I will look at that and I will add it to another future video. Let me put it on my notes before we leave here. It's called Sync Network. Check out Sync Network. Oh, I've heard of Sync Network, but I don't know a whole lot about it. So let me just put that on my list. Somebody else asked me to look up something else. Sync. These are my to-do research list. And another one was ZOM. ZOM. All right. Maybe one more leg in this meltdown. Yeah, Thomas. How about how long Bitcoin you think would down? How long Bitcoin you think it would down? I think I just answered that. So I hope the Astro Boy, hope that gave you your answer you're looking for. How long? Like time frame wise? I can't see the future. I don't know. And frankly, I've been in Bitcoin since like 9,000. You know, pretty heavily, or 10,000 maybe. My last ever buy was like 18,000 after selling. So my last real buy was like 13,000. So I don't really care. as long as it just consolidates and doesn't reverse. How long that lasts? A week or two, I'd say. I'd say it should be a couple of weeks. If things play out how I kind of think they'll play out, we're looking at a couple of weeks till we retake 42. Wouldn't bother me at all to see 42 not taken out until like November. I mean February. if we didn't retake 42 till February, it wouldn't bother me a bit. If your broker allows you to share Riot sells now since market's open, you know, Carlos, it's up to you. What is Riot doing right now? Do I have a price feed that'll work on Riot? I don't think I have a price feed that works on Riot right now. Yeah. It totally depends on if your broker will let you this early. It's up to you. It's going down. I mean, I'm really confident this is gonna go down a lot pretty quick. What do you think about Ethereum? Astro Boy, I'm really bullish on Ethereum. I think this is great. This action doesn't bother me one bit. It's, you know, we look at this chart, look how vertical we've been. Some consolidation here, a good shakeout and consolidation is totally cool. I did say that when we broke the 620 level, I thought we'd consolidate in like the 830 to 980 level. I thought we were going to consolidate here, and obviously we consolidated 0 in there. We just blasted right through it, so I was dead wrong. We kind of consolidated here, but it looks like we're going to consolidate 980 to 1226 a little bit before making the next leg up, and then taking out 1419 and entering price discovery. When we take out 1419, enter price discovery. So this is totally cool. I'm fine. This is a little bit of healthy consolidation right here between 980 and 1226 is good. Break above that. When we take out the prior all-time high is when I think that we're going to get that breakout on this chart that I've been waiting for. And then we'll break out ETH versus BTC and make a move up maybe to this shaded area that I've had as a key target for a while. That's my take profit for any trades. And I'm a little bit overweight on Ethereum, more than I would really want to be in this for the late stage of the bull market. So I might even sell a little bit of my Ethereum, but this is where I'll be looking to take profit on whatever positions and or trades is in this area. It's 64,000 Satoshi up to 85,000 Satoshi level. So I'll watch price action as we come into here. If it looks like we're going to get a clear reversal signal, I'll sell coming down off of this. But if it looks like we get in here, I'll wait until the market starts to show me, like, you know, basically when you start seeing like lower lows and you'll get the reversal signal, then I'll get out. Alright guys, thank you so much. I answered those questions with the music on, so I'm going to just let it wrap up here. Thank you all so much for joining tonight. We will talk to you later. I just noticed that we hit 1K subscribers, so thanks everybody. Appreciate your support. And yeah, essentially that's really cool. I think it's cooler for the people that joined in the first 1,000. The TTM community is much bigger than that, and you guys all rock. But You know, I hope my information is helpful. That's the main thing. I just want to be helpful to people, and if you guys have any feedback to make my stuff better, I'll be happy to take it. All right. Good night, everybody.